to Hutch comes to a conclusion tonight. Welcome on in. This is the NJCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. I'm your host, Phil Constantino, from our NJCAA Network Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. In the next few moments, we will introduce you to all 24 teams that will compete in this year's bracket. 24 teams, 16 automatic qualifiers that are district champions, 8 at-large selections. So a bunch of teams out there await their fate and await to see if their team name is called and if they are headed to Hutchinson, Kansas to compete for a national championship. Let's not wait any further. Let's take a check of the bracket. This year's tournament for the 73rd year in a row will be held in Hutchinson, Kansas at the Hutchinson Sports Arena. First round games on Monday and Tuesday, April 19th and 20th. The national championship game Saturday, April 24th, 6 p.m. Central Time. All games will stream live on the NJCAA network. The top 8 seeds get a first round bye into the second round. Seeds number 9 through 24 will have to fight with an extra game to earn their way into the second round of this year's tournament. The number 1 overall seed, Mineral Area, the Midwest District champions, who are 23-0 on the season out of Park Hills, Missouri. Mineral Area back again. This is the program's 30th appearance in the national tournament. They are the only unbeaten team remaining, and Mineral Area hopes to become the first team since 2012 to win an unbeaten national championship. South Plains was the last team to do it in 2012. It's only been done 6 times. Mineral Area, the number 1 overall seed in this year's NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship. Here are the other 8 top seeds that have earned a first-round bye. Mineral Area, number 1. Northern Oklahoma, Tonkawa is number 2. Southern Idaho, the number 3 seed. John A. Logan, the number 4 seed. South Plains, the 5 seed. The number 6 seed, Chipola. The number 7 seed, Odessa. And Cowley, the number 8 seed, to round out the top 8 that earned a first-round bye. So Mineral Area into the second round as the number 1 overall seed and awaits the winner of the 16-17 matchup. The number 16 seed, Hutchinson, an at-large selection. 18-6 on the season, finished the year receiving votes in the coaches poll, but lost to Cowley in the Plains District Final. Hutchinson, an at-large, our 3rd at-large team to be announced in this field. There were 2 in the top 8, and now Hutch, a perennial power, 22nd appearance in this tournament, 3 national titles, last won it all in 2017. Home games throughout, once again, for Hutchinson. And Hutchinson in the first round will meet the number 17 seed, Kilgore. The Mid-South District champs. Not entirely expected that Kilgore would reach this point, but winners of 9 in a row to end the season 18-5. And they knocked off Trinity Valley in a thriller 68-67 in the district title game. Mid-South champs Kilgore versus Hutchinson in the 16-17 game, 10 a.m. Central Time on April 19th for the right to meet Mineral Area in the second round. Continuing with our top left quadrant of the bracket, Cowley is through, the Plains champion. First round bye, the 8 seed is into the second round, awaiting the winner of the 9-24 matchup. The number 9 seed, Trinity Valley, our 4th at-large selection to be revealed. 22-2 on the year, finished in the top 10 of the national poll, but lost to Kilgore, as mentioned before, in the district championship game. The 9th appearance in this tournament for Trinity Valley, did not qualify last year for the tournament that ultimately was canceled, but Trinity Valley making its 3rd appearance in the last 4 years. And Trinity Valley will meet the number 24 and final seed in this tournament, Brunswick, the Atlantic District champs. Beat Caldwell Tech 98-89 in the title game. The Dolphins, winners of 8 in a row, the number 1 seed in their district. They took care of business. The Atlantic champs will play in the 9 versus 24 matchup for the right to meet Cowley. The Plains champion beat top-seeded Hutchinson 106-107 in the title game. They earned the final automatic qualifier spot on Saturday night, which was filled with championship action, and they are a fun team to watch. 108 points per game. That's number 2 in the nation. They shoot a ton of threes. 13.5 threes per game made is number 1 in all of D1 two-year basketball. Cowley, fast-paced, exciting team that has won 12 straight games, has a bye into the second round, and awaits the winner of Trinity Valley versus Brunswick on April 19th at noon Central Time. John A. Logan is the number 4 seed, revealed earlier. The Central champions with a first-round bye, awaiting the winner of the 2013 matchup, the number 13 seed. Ranger, the Southwest District champs, routed Western Texas 90-65 to reach the title game. Back in 2019, last time this tournament was contested, Ranger was the national runner-up. Billy Gillespie no longer the head coach. He's off to Tarleton State, but Larry Brown has come in, and he's got this team back in the tournament as it was last year. Ranger, 91 points per game, 19-4 on the year, winners of 8 in a row. The number 20 seed. Coach Ice, the West District champs. Game count limited this season. Out west, they've only played 13 games, unranked in the final poll, but Coach Ice took care of business. Out of Douglas, Arizona, they beat Western Arizona in the championship game by 21 to earn the trip to the national tournament. Ranger Coach Ice winner advances to face John A. Logan, the Central District champions out of Carterville, Illinois. They beat perennial power Vincennes to get here, and this is the second consecutive district title and tournament appearance for John A. Logan. Moving on, the 5 seed is South Plains, an at-large selection, awaiting the winner of the 12-21 first-round matchup. And that 12 seed, Salt Lake, an at-large selection. 9th appearance all-time for Salt Lake. The second straight appearance in the national tournament. 90 points per game. Finished 20-4 on the year. Finished ranked number 13 in the country. Salt Lake shoots it almost 50% from the floor. Another exciting, fast-paced, offensive team. Salt Lake in the tournament for the second season in a row as an at-large selection. The number 21 seed. South Georgia State, the Southeast District champions, topped East Georgia State 75-69 to earn that championship trophy. Daniel Parrish, Trace Moore, watch out for them. They both had a double-double in the championship game. South Georgia State finished this year 22-3 and winners of 10 straight games. So Salt Lake, South Georgia State winner meets South Plains, the number 5 seed, who is an at-large selection. Now, they are riding a 2-game losing streak entering this tournament, South Plains. In fact, South Plains was the number 1 ranked team in the country at the end of March for the final poll of the season. Lost the regular season finale, lost in the regional semifinals, but this perennial power is in the tournament for the 5th season in a row and the 12th time all together. So the left side of the bracket looks like this. We've now revealed 12 of the 24 teams that will compete in Hutchinson, Kansas for the NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship, April 19th to 24th. Mineral Area, the number 1 overall seed. Cowley, John A. Logan, South Plains all have first-round byes in this one. That is the left side of the bracket. We will get to the right side of the bracket in just a moment, but first we take a very quick break. It's the NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. Stay with us from our NJCAA studios in Charlotte.
Over 30 majors in 4 divisions.
Nursing, education, criminal justice,
exercise science.
This is one of the very few schools to honor leadership with scholarship.
Our students go out into the world with confidence.
I know who I am.
Pfeiffer has it all. The only thing that's missing is you.
We're revealing the bracket on the NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. There's the left side of the bracket. Now to the right side of the bracket. 12 teams left to be introduced, including a couple of at-large selections. The 2 seed is Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa, the South Central champions who are 23-1 on the season. More on them in a moment. But Tonkawa awaits the winner of the 15-18 matchup in the first round. The number 15 seed, perennial power Vincennes, in at-large selection, 17-6 this year. Maybe that's a little bit low for Vincennes, but this powerhouse program knows what it means to win in the tournament. Most wins in tournament history, most appearances in tournament history, and the last national champion from the last time the tournament was contested in 2019. Vincennes, in at-large selection, is the number 15 seed in the tournament. And Vincennes will meet the 18 seed, Holmes, the Gulf District champs. Bit of a bid stealer, maybe. They were the number 5 seed in their own district, beat top-seeded Pearl River and number 2 seed Northeast Mississippi along the way. Down in Mississippi, they are excited. They got a team that's 15-3 this year, winners of 7 in a row, unranked, but Gulf District champs and into the national tournament. Vincennes and Holmes, winner, advances to meet Tonkawa on April 20th. And Tonkawa is a good team. Once again, the South Central District champions, the number 2 team in the country in opponent three-point field goal percentage. They can really defend and have won 12 consecutive games. Second straight appearance in the tournament for Tonkawa. Moving on to the next triad. The number 7 seed, Odessa, awaits the winner of the 10-23 matchup. The number 10 seed, Coffeyville, 22-3 this year, an at-large selection. Lost to Hutch in the district semifinals, bowed out earlier than expected, but Coffeyville is back in the tournament as they were last year as an at-large team. And Coffeyville will meet the number 23 seed, Southwest Tennessee. The Appalachian District champs edged Cleveland State in overtime. And you got to watch out for the duo of Jamie Sanders and Brandon Mason. Sanders, the district tournament MVP. He had 16 in the title game. Mason, he scored 9 in the overtime to push Southwest Tennessee to the championship and to the tournament. Not ranked at any point this season, yet the number 23 seed in the national tournament and still with championship hopes. Coffeyville versus Southwest Tennessee for the right to play Odessa in the second round. And Odessa, in at-large selection, finished number 3 in the country with a 20-2 record, lost to Western Texas in a high-scoring barn burner, 96-94 in the regional semis. But Odessa, enough of a resume to earn an at-large selection. We will step aside, but in a moment, we will reveal the final quadrant of our bracket, and we will also reveal our final at-large selection. Stay with us on the NJCAA Network.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
We're back on the NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. It's time for the final quadrant of our bracket and the final at-large selection, Indian River State. They are the number 14 seed. The number 16 scoring offense in the country, averaging just shy of 89 points per game, has posted an 18-3 record despite falling to top-seeded Chipola in the district final. Indian River is in as our final of the 8 at-large selections to be revealed on this selection show. And Indian River will meet one of the great stories of this season, Dawson, making its first ever appearance at Hutch. Dawson from Glendive, Montana, finished the year 14-0 at home, which included a run at home through the district tournament. 63rd year of basketball at Dawson, first ever trip to Hutch. And they did it by staving off 3 field goal attempts in the final 10 seconds of the district title game to beat perennial power Indian Hills by 68-67. What a story. Dawson is in the 19 seed out of 24 in this tournament to take on Indian River State in the first round. Winner gets Southern Idaho, who is the Rocky Mountain District champs. And Southern Idaho has Dang Dutt. He went for 31, 5, and 6 assists in the championship game. As a school where both the men and the women won the district title, a lot of good basketball, a lot of winning going on at Southern Idaho. The Golden Eagles are 21-3. And despite being unranked Rocky Mountain champs, they are in as the number 3 seed in the tournament. Our final triad, Chipola, the 6th seed, awaits the winner of the 11-22 matchup. The number 11 seed, the South District champs, Shelton State. 23-1 this year, beat Wallace Selma in a blowout in the championship game. It's the 6th straight appearance in this tournament for Shelton State. It's the 14th all-time. Finished the year number 4 in the country in the final poll, entering the district tournament, and took care of business. Shelton State will play Northeastern. 15-5 this year, winners of 6 in a row, and that includes a run through the Northwest Plains District Championship. First appearance at Hutch since 2014 for Northeastern out of Sterling, Colorado. April 20th, 12 p.m. Central Time. Shelton State, Northeastern for the right to play Chipola. Chipola is the South Atlantic District champions with a win over Indian River State in the championship game. Winners of 8 in a row, a top 10 team in the country. Very talented. I mean, you see the fireworks in the highlights. Chipola, 21-4 this year, the South Atlantic champions. Our bracket looks like this. Mineral area, number 1 overall. You see the top 8. Tonkawa, the 2. The 3, Southern Idaho. The 4 seed, John A. Logan. The 5 seed, South Plains. The 6 seed, Chipola. The 7 seed, Odessa. The 8 seed, Cali. They all earn a first-round bye. The last team in via the at-large selection, the lowest seeded at-large team, Hutchinson, the number 16 seed in the tournament. We're now joined by Dean Myrick. He is the chair of the Men's Division I Selection Committee. Dean, thank you for joining us. As I take a look at the bracket, let's start right at the top. Mineral area, with all of the other teams in the top 5 that lost in the weeks leading up to this, the last week really of the season. Was it consensus, clear-cut, Mineral area is the number 1 overall seed?
It was. We had very little discussion on number 1 seed, and felt like they had obviously the only undefeated team in the country at the time, that they were the clear-cut overall seed, number 1 seed.
Toughest decision as far as seeding is concerned for the committee was what?
The seeding, this year was very difficult, more so in the past, because we didn't have the preseason jamborees and the scrimmages, and definitely the lack of cross-region play is what made the at-large as well as the seeding very, very difficult, because we were not able to compare or have the sample size that we have had in the past. So this year, more so than ever, it was very difficult.
Let's talk about at-large seeding. The last team in, Hutchinson, they were not ranked. They received votes in the final poll. They beat out a couple of other teams that didn't quite get in. Eastern Florida State, Indian Hills, Pearl River, Triton, Georgia Highlands. Those seem to be the first few teams that are out. Why did Hutch get in and those teams did not make it, and was it close?
It was very close. probably the last two in, we had four teams that we debated on heavily and for a while. Again, the sample size that we have had in the past with tournaments and so on and so forth made it a lot more difficult to be able to compare the teams that we have been able to in the past. So there was a lot of discussion on the 6, 7, 8, even 9, 10. I guess you could go to that number. So, but we felt like we had 3 or 4 teams for those last 2 spots, and there was a lot of discussion and trying to compare the two, which it was just very difficult.
One of the themes in the past, I know, has been to try and avoid having teams from the same region playing each other in the first round and maybe even being in a triad together and playing each other in the second round. At quick glance at this bracket, there's not a single inter-region matchup in the first 2 rounds, it appears, each individual triad of teams. How much of a concerted effort was that for the committee this year?
We did try. We had an 8-9 matchup that would have been in the same region, so we did alter that a little bit to avoid that. You know, we try to do that at all costs. Definitely the first round. But once we got through and put everything on the bracket as we went, it was actually worked out pretty well this year that we didn't have to do a little switching to avoid those matchups. So it fell into place. It wasn't intentional, other than the 8-9, which we did have to move a team or 2 around to avoid that.
Last thought, 1 to 24. Maybe tougher to gauge this year, as you mentioned, due to COVID, due to the lack of the inter-region competition. Where does 1 to 24, this year's field, strength-wise, compare to past years?
I think it's going to be a very good tournament. I think it's a very wide-open tournament. But again, it's hard to tell because we didn't have those matchups that we had earlier in the year. Even though we had some teams with maybe some travel restrictions, we did have to take that into account as far as what they were allowed to play, and then just try to be consistent. Even though it's a COVID year, try to be consistent with some of the decisions we have made in the past years. But yeah, with the first 4 out, you have 5, 6, 7, and 8 thinking they should be in the first 4, and then so on and so forth. So, you know, unfortunately, there's some good teams that are not able to compete this year, but that happens every year, and you know, we just try to do the best we can.
It's a stressful job. Thank you, Dean. Take a final check of the bracket. Mineral area, the number 1 overall seed, as you heard Dean say, pretty unanimous. Unbeaten. Everyone else in the final week of the season near the top that had a shot at the number 1 overall seed pretty much lost. So Mineral area is the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. And as far as our at-large selections are concerned, South Plains, Odessa, Coffeyville, Trinity Valley, Salt Lake, Indian River State, Vincennes, and Hutchinson is the final at-large team into this tournament field. All games to be played April 19th to 24th at the Hutchinson Sports Arena in Hutchinson, Kansas. And all games will be streamed on the NJCAA network. Every game in its entirety on the network. You can find the network at njcaa.org/network. That concludes our coverage of the 2021 NJCAA D1 Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. We say congratulations to all 24 teams in the field, especially those 8 at-large selections that were awaiting their fate. And we wish them good luck for the tournament in Hutchinson, Kansas, April 19th to 24th. A little bit later than we've become accustomed to, but we will have a tournament. Thank you. Have a good night. For the NJCAA Network, I'm Phil Constantino.